Hey, and welcome to VFX Tutors. I'm Josh, and in this tutorial we're going to be continuing with our rifle flamethrower. So if you are just joining us now, we have kind of modelled most of the flamethrower now. We've done the body up until the point of the bits we have to duplicate, and now we're kind of working on the bipod at the end. So if you are just picking this up, you can watch this all the way from the start. The entire process is documented for free, and you can follow along for free, and it's pro modeling sort of tutorial for free. So anyway, let's get going. So in our previous one we did this sort of little latch bit, and we did put it in an orientation which kind of wasn't aligned to the scan. But what we can do now, this is not the best way to do this. In fact, what I will do is just create a cylinder quickly. And we use this for our pivot sort of reference, because we're going to have to make one anyway. In fact, we may as well make one now. And I'm getting blinded by the sun again, so I'm going to have to descend into darkness. Try and make this light work up here. I'm not really bothered about all these fancy lighting stuff. If you want that sort of stuff, not really that bothered. But yeah, it's fallen down. Yeah. Cool. So it's pretty simple. So what we'll do is create this pin. And this we'll use this for our modeling, our pivot. Why is that? It's weird. Let's do that again. Okay, so definitely got something strange going on with my Maya at the moment. I might have to delete my preferences, because now if I create, I have lost the ability to change stuff. So let me just save this. And I'll be right back again. Something's gone wrong. It's probably a tutorial for a cropped Maya scene coming up anytime soon. Okay, so I've just loaded up a new Maya. That can go away. And deleted the preferences. And hopefully now we get our polycylinder shapes. I can do a tutorial on that, because sometimes you just get weird stuff happening with straight up. You just get weird stuff happening. There's no rhyme or reason. It just happens. I've got a feeling I probably wanted to actually start with a sphere for this, but we're probably going to find out that I one of the only problems with this following the scan a little bit too much. Anyway, let's not get too caught up in that. So probably could just use the sphere. Probably should have done this first. I think maybe some of the annoying little minor things have got to me and I've made a lot of mistakes, but we will prevail. I know, there's people always go on about things inside my head, but you know, every piece of software has its issues. No doubt about that. So I'm really not that bothered, to be honest. It's just it's one of those things, you know, when you wish you had sorted it out earlier. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to not adjust this quite yet. Probably should have sorted out that top first, but to save doubling up on the actual work. I'm not entirely sure it's too much of a bother to me, to be honest. Because it's just as simple as that. Oh, I say as simple as that, but I've got to make sure I actually do it right. I'll just do the same on the other side. And don't forget, we're kind of working on really small bits now. We're not let's bring back our... hopefully we should have less. We need to tidy up our outliner at the end, but... Cool, so effectively I've just parented that under there for now. And what we can do is maybe give this a slightly better alignment. I think a little bit easier to work with. What have we got here? That old cylinder. So we do need to actually... I don't think we actually ever adjusted this. Let's give a good old lattice. I'm actually going to only select those and lattice. Let's go back to that and just hide that for now. To add a lot, so no matter what I kind of do, I don't really affect too much of what I've done. So we don't have to exactly commit to that right now, but that's it. It's pretty close. Although it's like super wonky in here, but the whole thing is kind of wonky and messy. So we can all this stuff can be tweaked, so we just want to kind of make sure that we're so I think probably the next step is to create this thread. So as we did before, let's go create polygon and helix. I'm going to try and not use too many try and do everything in the actual editor or the attribute editor, just so it makes things a little bit easier. I think that's like 3, isn't it? Hide these and let's see how we're going. Because as before, we do not want to. We want to try and at least. I think maybe 0.30 is our good number. So we've built this sort of bring that down to 3 because it's a bit of a sharper point. Cool. So I'm quite happy with that. What I'll do, I'll just delete that end. Delete that end. Hopefully we delete all the inside bits. Cool. Because we are working at a tiny scale, we'll scale that up to 100 and freeze the transforms. And then I will merge them. So we're kind of looking for this sort of shape, which we've got. And we'll scale that back down to 001, back down to the correct scale. And now we just need to clean these up. Just put that back on the tool shelf because we've had so many weird things go on. Very much the same as before. Maybe we'll actually just do object. I've got to make this taper in. And that'll help us with tidying up the end of the screw. And if I'm honest, it's such a small scale at the moment. I'm not massively bothered about lumpiness. Let's just fill that hole and clean it up. That's not what we cut it. That's we could actually just should be alright. Cool. Now we just need to do it for the other end. It's a little bit different at this end because this goes not to our tip, but why is that? Oh, it's because I did unfortunately mess around with I did freeze the transform, so this is why this is a bit messed up, but not really that difficult to fix. So let's make that straight. I think that's pretty good. So now we need to remember last time when we did this, we wanted to add a sharper edge, but we couldn't quite do it because the bevel wouldn't have worked correctly. So we actually did it a different way. So So we selected the entire edge loop. And we added a offset of 0.01 maybe. Now that's given us our sharpness. But now we need to fix, and because we're at such a small level here, we're going to have to fix some of these dodgy bits. It's not difficult to do, it's just one of those things. Yeah, we can even bring out our smooth. It would have no doubt done it. Not as bad on this side, I must admit, but cool. So now we've got our thread. Could have handled that one a bit better, but we didn't. So not worry too much about it. Don't worry about it. So I want to. This is clearly not straight. That's why I don't really want to mess around too much with freezing transforms too early, because you could end up with annoying situations like this. It's not really that annoying, to be honest. We just, you know, you learn, even when you do this a long time, you still make the mistakes. I'm not worried about making mistakes. It's the more you do, the better you get. Without sounding cringy, it's just an absolute fact. So we have. This is actually. Do you know what's actually making this a bit more difficult than it needs to be? Is the fact that we did reset the transforms. So what I'm going to do is let's go to our panels, orthographic top. I'm just gonna just going to freeze my transforms now. It's just one of those things, like, because we're following it from a scan, we're working from a really small scale. Probably could do without working at such a tiny scale, but that's what we're doing. We're modeling from the scan. I've got a feeling this is probably looks bent, so I'm gonna have to try and this is going to be the second annoying thing, that we didn't actually plan for this properly. I always say plan for it properly because it's going to cause you not much of a problem in the long run, but now we have a symmetrical middle bit, which are and don't forget that even though we're modeling it to the scan, we don't forget effectively we took bits off. So if they don't fit perfectly now, we're still gonna have to put this back onto the model, because obviously this doesn't sit like this. That was probably about right. Let's delete that. And that. Actually, that's quite fortunate because I do believe we need to add a curve on it as well. So let's try and get this working to some extent. clean up. Just turn it off. That was very confusing for those double edges. I think, maybe. I know I use bevel a lot. So that bit's clearly burnt. So I'm gonna repurpose this. No. This is definitely going to have to be something we're I think because we're at such a I know I'm going on and repeating myself, but I think it's because we are effectively at such a small scale. I don't think the scan is going to work, be as reliable as we hoped. And we've definitely got some kinkage. So I'm going to hope that maybe did not want to do that. It's from the bevel. Let's delete the history off that and try. Let's put a new lambert on it. Something's definitely not agreeing with the sculpting at the moment, but let's That's better. Cool. So I guess our next issue is, this is kind of rounded on the end. It's not as we think it is right now. To form lattice. I'm probably gonna, do you know what, actually let's form lattice. Make sure your soft select's off. Another. You can like layer them, but I'd rather not. Make sure you had the correct amount of subdivisions in there, so you don't actually break stuff that you already made. Cool, so now we've kind of made that rounded edge there. Cool, so we can put that roughly back to where it was. So we got to adjust all this anyway, so what are we on? 42 minutes. And our last bit that we actually need to do is this sort of like butterfly hinge. So let's just go ahead and make a cylinder. This should actually be pretty simple to do. Famous last words, but I can't see us having any. I'm not going to say anything until it's done. I'll definitely make mistakes on the way. Actually, also going to duplicate that, rotate that. This is where it's not tricky. It's just we're probably gonna have to fiddle around with this a bit, get it working nicely, because we're working in like multiple different axes, and it's also the very last bit we need to model, I think. And we need to put that back on reference. Go ahead and delete that, and those bits. Just kind of generalizing it, not putting too much detail as of yet. It's really important to remember that this is still just like a very small piece, which is very gonna be probably not scanned as nicely as we would have hoped. Even though we've got our kind of shape, but it's definitely not looking as nice as we'd like it. I'm not entirely sure why I deleted those. Seemed a bit. Yeah, do things and I don't know why. So, quite happy with that. Let's put that back I think I duplicated that. Oh no, this should be fine. Let's put that on 18. I could probably we can mirror that across once we've done it. There's no point preempting it now because I've still got to fill this out. So there's no point doing all that work, just have to do it twice. Most important thing about probably VFX is avoiding doing things twice, because it's very easy to do things twice. Like, really easy. So, it's good to avoid it where we can. I would absolutely guarantee that these won't line up as well as I would like, so let's just fill a hole, and let's see where we can go from here. Let's say that's the middle. Taking an absolute gamble with how many edges we are over here. So and I knew I'd be wrong. Absolutely knew it. One too many. So let's just delete that. Was it to that one? No, one up. Always make sure that you actually select the vertice. Otherwise you create more problems for yourself. Cool. I will relax that to death. Only on the inside, just so it's not so nasty. can do is we are on an object, so I have messed this up. But oh well. That is life. Obviously, when you're like modeling at the origin and you don't have to worry about matching stuff, you probably don't really ever get any of these issues. It's probably just because I'm getting so close to the end and it's kind of like, I just want to get it done. Basically. If I was working on this day in, day out, actually, as a job, it wouldn't have taken so long. It's because I've got to find that time right to do it. And I've also tried and talk over the top of it, which I find sometimes actually quite difficult. I'll say that this is doing the YouTube channel is definitely more of a social experiment for me than anything else that I like to give to help, but definitely get those older social anxiety. It's one a bit quiet, but it's nice to help, so I try and do it. So, that was messed up. Alright, so we've got that. Let's bring that back and see where we're at. So this is definitely well, it's definitely not symmetrical. But we can sort that out afterwards. So let's delete that in a bit. I'm actually going to try and align this now because I have made bad choices. But I think we are actually done with the modeling, so we just now need to not that. Clean this up and we should hopefully be done. Delete scales need to help with this. We've already had a supporting edge in anyway. Right, so let's have this bevel in. So these are actually quite tight bevels. Quite exciting to get very close to the end. Bevel that. Some retaining edges in there. So I do want that to be soft, but I don't want it to be like an endless chasm. Cool, and I think we're definitely done. No, we're not actually done. We need to... Well, when we UV this, we're going to duplicate it over. So I am just going to have a little look. So our next thing we really want to do is just double check it over and pretty much done for sure. I actually can't believe it's done now. So we need to tidy up some of these bits, but we need to put this back on the rifle before we do that, so cool. So yeah, we just have a little once over. Maybe see how far that is actually out. Don't actually think it's literally just under, right? So that is from where we probably smoothed it before. Probably a good chance that we smoothed it a bit off. But we can just do that sort of. Let's change this to components. We're actually pushing it out from the edge. Don't forget, this still could be kind of like a bit dodgy in places. You can't really tell until it's we do the check. But yeah, I'm fairly happy with that. Not sure how much trust. So it's difficult to trust the scan at this point because You just don't know what bits are kind of right. But it's does seem strange that that bit is wildly off though. So I will let's add a lattice. So I personally would think that maybe this gets a lot of stress maybe. It probably is a bit wonky. The one thing that we do know is that when we have followed it quite closely to the scan, we've got very good results against the reference, so there's no reason why we should stop trying to get as close to the scan as possible. In most places, that is. In some cases, it's kind of, well, it's just a bit wonky. Cool, so I'm pretty happy with that. We have pretty much done everything now, apart from the duplicate parts. I can't think of anything else. I'm sure we'll come up with something that maybe we'd add, but yeah, I guess the next thing would be to do the sort of prep check in the next one, and that's kind of like let's put all this in a group. So when I say that, it's like it's one of those things that works. I've kind of been doing it as I've been going along. If I just add a, I don't think it needs a whole tutorial on it. But, you know, we could even go open up. I don't think I've loaded any of the images for this yet. But if I go to the rifle scan, for instance, say like the grip. Where are my image planes? I'm sure I actually maybe it needs reloading. 6368. Where is that gone? Nope, you are definitely there. I'm an idiot. It's turned off. Well, so this is our reference. If I just turn my... you can see that so far my reference is extremely close. All my models sort of lining up with our delensed image. And I'll go through and do this for a couple of them. I don't know if I've actually I'm getting very confused with what's going on. One sec. Let's hide our rifles. Right. That should be aligned with it. I don't... oh, it is. Let's pick this one. No, this one. 6525, and they come in. The shapes come in a super long image plane, so we need to. And I could say with a lot of this, it's probably not a good one to do because it doesn't have a lot of art detail. Cool. So this is going to be one that we really want to check. 6487. And I hope I have actually imported them. Done the ref scan. Bipod. Images. 6487. I can't remember if I've actually... I hope I have, because it'd be embarrassing. So yeah, no, that is the sort of advanced one. So if we change our alpha gain and our depth, we can now see that actually we're very, very close. Obviously, we've moved this out, and it's actually looking really nice. We probably could focus on these bits a little bit more, but I don't think those knobbly end bits are not a deal breaker for me. We can work on those, but we've actually got all the shapes in that we need. Maybe some of these bits are... they look a bit small. If I scaled that up, now that would kind of... or maybe I didn't need to scale that up. Maybe I wasn't looking at the bottom properly. Where's... So that's far thicker than I thought it was. Where has that pin gone? Let's leave that for now until we edit. Readies go actually. I forgot what camera that was. 6.4. Was it 6.487? It was. A little bit more like that. See, these are legs seem a little bit short, so we'll deform lattice. Don't forget these are already de-lensed as well, so that's one thing that you need to make sure that you do when you come out of Agisoft, is that they are definitely de-lensed. So let's do that again. Let's do a simpler one. Right. No. Cool, now I've got that little bend out. And we'll do this for like a lot of it. I need to find where that bit has gone, but yeah. So I'll go through. There's no point me showing you like every single one because there's lots to check. But you can sort of see here that what I've modeled to is actually very accurate to the reference. So I think we are definitely done with the modeling. Let's just double check we're not doing anything weird. That's intersecting because we've kind of got a funny angle at the moment, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Hour and 20 minutes. And we are all done. We just now need to tidy up, make sure it's all correct, and sort out our outliner, which is really important because this is like a mess, like a massive mess. Not good to have it like this. So yeah, we are done. I'm not going to move that over until I've UV'd it because there's just no point. And the next one we'll do just like tidying up the model and stuff. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help. Congratulations if you've finally modeled it and stuff. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one, which will be like organizing and doing the other bits. Thanks for watching.